Slovakia continuing. It says one critic of West was Dr. Isidore Zephyr-Stein, associate clinical professor of psychiatry at the UCLA Neuropsychiatric Institute. We have a new situation on our hands, Zifferstein said. Because of the intensifying economic decline, it is inevitable that more and more jobless will go beyond the limits of law to satisfy their needs. There are probably upwards of 30% of our population who are permanently impoverished, and once those 30% become convinced that the democratic process is not working for them, they become desperate and may resort to violent means. There is a rising radicalism in their midst, and there is an uppityness among the blacks and Chicano prisoners, which prison officials find intolerable. Um, Bear with me for a second, because I thought this was going into, well, basically that's going into shit. I can get they went into Jake. And that's funny because it's Chicano and blacks or so-called blacks, but that's Jake. Um, it was a scripture I wanted to bring up, but that's basically the basically the uproars of the people. You can get that in Matthew 24. You can get bear with me for a second. Slovakia. Says, bear with me. Continue. It's a scripture on the uproars. This is Second Ezra chapter 9. I'm gonna start at verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. So it says measure the time, so it means be watching, be paying attention. And that's how you know what time we're in today. Because the man at Great Millstone, the other men at other camps, because you got multiple Hebrew camps, but everybody's not teaching the truth. That's why you got false prophets among Israel, in this thing. Scripture, this code, just based on that fact alone, that's how you know the Most High doesn't want everybody. At the end of the day, though, if you in this thing, you're supposed to be measuring the time, and that's how we know we're at the end time, the end of the age. Verse 2, it says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. That's how, that's the spirit, because I was just talking about how, we in the time of the end. Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, which we've seen, and uproars of the people in the world, which you're seeing right now today, like you got Elder Apostle Tahar and Elder Malcolm doing videos about the different uproars and riots and protests going on around the whole world, let alone this country and other countries, but the whole world. So, from reading this book, like I said, you know, you're gonna have people getting violent, like I said, because they're jobless or whatnot. Not only that, but when the storehouse become empty, that you can read in Second Ezra 6 and verse 22. This is Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown; the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And one of the brothers put in on our group chat showed a picture. Took a picture of going to the store, and basically the shelf was empty. It may be like two loaves of bread or something, you know. And sometimes a lot of these stores constantly replenish they produce. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you don't see that quite often. I mean, like at the beginning of the month, you might see it. But it's rare to see it. Like he just did this last week. The first was yesterday. Today is only the second. Uh, it says there is a rising radicalism radicalism in their midst, and there is the uppiness among the blacks and Chicano prisoners, which prison officials find intolerable. To subdue them, the authorities are using new methods. They are employing the psychiatric armamentarium and a new technological tool set, what has come to be known as psychotechnology. Under the guise of therapeutic behavior modification, they are applying anything from terror drugs, acetylene, and other aversive drugs to psychosurgery. Despite Reagan's support, the idea for the violence center was tabled, although he retained the concept of the center in his active file until his election to president. After the demise of the violence center, the West seems to have moved into the role of a fixer for the CIA, always on the spot for high-profile psychiatric intervention, character assassination, or an off-the-cuff interview with the agency sought damage control. West examined Jack Ruby after the killing of Lee Harvey Oswald and determined that Ruby was in a paranoid state manifested by delusions, visual and auditory hallucinations, and suicidal impulses. This diagnosis was probably influenced by Ruby's insistence that a conspiracy has been responsible for the murder of John F. Kennedy and that Ruby was being troublesome by virtually begging the authorities, including Chief Justice Earl Warren of the Warren Report, to listen to his take on who has done the deed. Salakia. I'm gonna probably stop here because that was the end of we went off into some other stuff. So I'm probably gonna stop this video here and start another chapter, Lord willing. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom, Kol Halal, Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rachak, that's what the time. Shalom and the Bible Ball.